Hey, Koshik. Man, I did something really stupid pre-market, left the trade on, and then walked away thinking that my at the money strategy on NinjaTrader would have would have been triggered for a 10-point stop loss and a 10-point gain. And instead, so I went about my day, had to do some drop-offs, run some errands, and then by the time that I remembered that I had my trade on, I checked in on it, and I was like down pretty big. And I was like, oh man, I had to close it out. My stop loss obviously didn't trigger. Well, I didn't have one for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I guess knowing that I was going to leave the computer, I probably shouldn't have taken that trade. That was on eval. So I guess it doesn't matter, but kind of matters. But that was stupid. I think that was like it was just one ES, but it ended up being like a $900, almost a $900 loss on eval. But yeah, aside from that, we'll see how today goes. The overnight move was interesting. I saw that you sent something. I haven't looked at it in great detail, so I'm gonna pop it up right now. The straddles was at 32 when I checked at 9:31. Sure if I'm a little late here jumping on and updating all the information that I normally have up. Centroid is down towards 70.76. So we're hanging around the upside pivot right now. Basically being supported by the upside pivot. Very thin positioning today. And Alma seems to believe that today looks more like trapping impatient momentum traders. It's funny, because during her weekly review, it said that watch for Tuesday, because Tuesday set up for weakness based on positioning. And that basically played out. The first part of the week is pivotal, especially Tuesday. And there is downward pressure on the spot price of ES. So it happened, but it happened all pre-market for the most part. And now and she was saying that positioning, so all in all, traders are betting on upside magnet bursts, capitalizing on downside put decay as long as spot is above the centroid. So basically not expecting like a big down day from here. Headlines coming out today. And let me give you a look at the OptionsDepth chart here. Very thin positioning. I threw it in Claude just to see if it has any pin bias or magnet bias, and it basically said there's thin positioning today, so nothing high probability, which makes sense. Trump is on his mobile phone today. Oh man, I don't even have Truth Social. I never did sign up. All right, 9:30. Iran has just informed us that they are in a state of collapse. They want us to open the Hormuz as soon as possible on Truth Social. I was listening to Chem Karsan talk about the war, and if I guess if we're believers that, I guess it depends what you believe in. I guess if you believe that this war is a proxy war against China, then this war probably won't end, because China's not going to let US take control of the state of Hormuz. So the war is going to continue, and it will just be a prolonged war. And this what's happening right now, the ceasefire discussion, or the ceasefire and the negotiations, is really just trying to set the table for the next stage of the war so that everyone can reimmunize and stuff like that. And then on the other hand, if you don't believe in that, then I guess then we have to trust in the ceasefire talks and the negotiations and the ceasefire. But I'm in the camp that believes there's no end to this war. At least it's not going to be a short war. $71.54. See if there's a reaction at 71.54. We got up to 5.2. Yeah, I can see what you're talking about. Yeah, I kind of like what I see on the 5-minute too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump in on this too. Orange folder, let me check it out. Oh, US consumer confidence. There you go. That's weird, and all of it just suddenly happened. I don't like the SMT still. Yeah, we'll see if it can go that far. Took one off at POC, but I'm gonna leave one account on. Kind of see where we end up here. Yeah, I was aiming for at 161. But I figured POC was a good TP there. For one account, just to make sure I get something green in the books here. I was primarily looking at the 5-minute though, and the 5-minute high volume top wick on the ES. I'm taking a look at the 1-minute right now just to see if there's any IFVGs. I guess one kind of formed on NQ. I don't see anything on ES though. Okay, I'm out there. It's close enough to the pivot, the upside pivot for me. Yeah, I'm all out. That was really just a repair for one of the accounts that that got hit this morning. Was still down, sadly. Hopefully we get some decent movement today. Yesterday sucked. Yeah, my one of the guys that trade on trade edge went short the 4-hour 6 p.m. candle because it was like a massive top wick. You got the SMT divergence on a higher time frame on the 4-hour, and he shorted NQ there and just left it on and printed really nicely for him. I don't normally watch overnight action, so I just realized the one Apex account, because it was like almost $900 loss this morning. I realized that their daily loss limit hit, so I didn't even collect on that one. So I only got it on like the 2 other evals I was working on. That sucks. So I'm gonna have to like go all in for the next like 3 days to repair that account and hopefully pass it. Doesn't seem very likely. I think you're right though. I think it's gonna pull back some more. $10 came and has gone. Consumer confidence is high. Damn, I really thought that. Guess I'm learning about Apex real quick. $1-hour doji. Yeah, this was like yesterday, kind of, where the daily essentially tested the gamma peak and then rejected, along with high volume 5-minute top wick there. But you saw something on the 1 minute. You said it was like a 1 minute sell volume that came in, which is interesting. It wasn't until the 5-minute close that I was like, okay, this is looking good. And then I kind of waited it out a little until, like, I'm not sure. Did I enter? I was praying for an SMT. I might have entered right before the SMT happened. To invalidate your trade, was it the 1 minute green volume that kind of came on at around, it was at like 9:51-ish? And would you typically wait for that volume to tick above the average, the moving average for the volume? Because I'm just curious why you let that one go. Like what you saw on the 1 minute. Okay, check it out. So you're highlighting the 9:49 candle, right? Oh, that's interesting. Mine still has red on it, but mind you, mine's on TradingView. And I think when you had shown me the indicator, and said it was open source, or the code was available, I just kind of plugged it into Claude and said, hey, convert this to TradingView for me. But what I'm seeing on the TradingView one, there is still red, like it was like half green, half red. But I'm beginning to think that my version is incorrect. Let me screenshot mine for you. Just for comparison's sake. I sent you my version on Discord, and I just noticed there was a bit of there was a difference on the 949 candle that you highlighted. In theory, my code should be the same, but because I converted the indicator that you had shown me on Tradeovate that you said was open source. So I copied that over to Claude, got Claude to convert it to TradingView for me, and this is the TradingView version. Now, for the most part, I'd say they generally look the same except for that one candle, which is a bit odd, eh? Yeah, just that one candle looked a bit off. But I copied it to Discord so you can compare it just in case. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I thought it would be the same, but I didn't really dive into the dirty details of the code. But just very odd that that one candle is like the one main difference. It makes no sense. Shoot, let me take a look at what you sent over. Yeah, you sending it over at like, oh, okay. I thought it was at 3 a.m. or something. No, you responded to a message at 3 a.m. You don't sleep, eh? Here we go, 7170. 7170 ES. So now we're in positive, I guess. Just slightly. UAE decides to exit OPEC and OPEC Plus. I wouldn't be able to guess at all. I guess you're over the pond. You're on the other side of the Pacific or the Atlantic. Hey, wait, if you're up at 3. You're up at 3. What's the time difference in London? Is it like 5 hours or something like that? 4 or 5 hours? I'll guess London. Oh, no way. That's crazy. Hey, that's pretty awesome though. Oh, not London. Oh, boo. Oh, dang. You're even further east. I wouldn't even know. Are you 5 hours. That like, you're in Asia then, eh? You have to be in Asia. Known for its spices. India? Holy smokes. That's wild. So it's like pretty late there right now, right? Yeah, I'm from Canada. How'd you know? Oh, 7:45 p.m. Okay, that's not too bad. Not bad at all. How did you know I was from Canada? It's like, well, I guess maybe because of the way I speak or something, but oh, it says on my YouTube profile. Amazing. I didn't even know that information is like out anywhere. So market opens for you at around like 6 p.m. And that's why you call it a night at like you don't even trade after lunch at all. It makes sense now. Yeah, I had no idea where you were from. I thought you were maybe from the US or something. Because we were looking at the same time, the time slots or time frames. And every time I reference like 9:45 candle or something like that, I figured that's what you were. I figured you were referencing the exact same thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. That is wild, considering you're from India. Which part of India are you from? South India, I see. Man, that is so wild because I guess it just with the internet, it just everyone's kind of like searching for let's say like you and I are both into day trading and I'd say our paths are very similar. But you were going through that path in India and I'm going through that path in Canada. And we landed on Gex. started with Forex. Oh, there's this one guy. I actually don't know if he's what his nationality is. He's Canadian too, but I think he lives in the Middle East somewhere now. He was a Forex or a gold trader or Forex trader of some sort. Let me figure out his name. I was just trying to remember. There's this one guy also from Canada, who's a Forex trader. I was trying to remember his name. And wondering if you ever encountered his stuff. But let me figure out his name first. Oh, his name is Raja Banks. Raja. I think he's Indian, if I remember correctly. He's a big Forex guy, I think. I just remember him trading. Yeah, he is Forex. Raja Banks. Have you ever encountered any of his videos if you were trading Forex? Yeah, I'm not a huge. I don't think I'm like a huge fan of his trading style. For the most part, I believe he only uses candles, candle analysis, and he trades around news quite a bit. But yeah, I used to follow him way back when, but I couldn't figure out his trade style. So it was a challenge for me to kind of continue watching it. Like I couldn't distill it to a specific algorithm so that I can test it for myself. Yeah, well, this guy got pretty famous, and ended up moving to Dubai or something, for tax reasons. But he also got famous. Um, he got he started making a lot of money off of YouTube too. So I feel like they're always famous for his lifestyle. Yeah, yeah. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I saw someone post that said like all the traders with like 100K followers on Twitter likely like you'll learn with time that they cannot trade. It's like, huh, that's a very valid point because I actually don't follow many people um with that many followers that are like day traders. And anytime that they get too big, I often have to have to start watching someone else because they start diluting their content with other things that keeps it entertaining. But yeah, I'm I don't think I'm very interested in keeping the stream entertaining. I just wanted to meet people while trading, and I might have only had like maybe 2 people drop by my stream and actually commented. Maybe 3, but yeah, not a lot of them like to stick around. It's just because I thought there would be more people trading OptionsDepth that might be interested in it, but um yeah, it's not a pretty thing to follow either. This whole dealer hedging flow stuff. Oh, you're looking for a bounce near 71.37 and 71.34. Seventy-one 37, 71 34. That's like 30 points away. It's like sitting around Friday's low. Guess we're back to chopping around here. Yeah, looking at the positioning, it looks like 71.50 will be a hard break. I don't know. It looks like it's about to come down. But I would not have wanted to hold through that pullback back to VWAP. It's like 71.77. Yeah, and so when you get, so you're trading props and you're trading and you're paying for these in USD, correct? And when you get paid out, you get paid out in USD too. That's very beneficial uh, uh, for you since you're living in India, right? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's beneficial for me too because the currency in Canada is not as good as the US. So it's much better for me to make money in USD. Except I have to pay crazy taxes here in Canada. Uh, your tax is 30%. I think our tax is probably close to 50%. It's like around 45%. Yeah, it kind of sucks. They want to keep us poor here. Now, I'm curious because I'm hearing a lot about the war that the war against Iran and that Strait of Hormuz. How are you guys doing from an oil perspective? Like, is oil still readily available there? Because the doomer stuff would say, hey, all these South Asian and Southeast Asian countries are are um, are starting to run out of oil. Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I'm seeing reports that I forget if it was Sri Lanka um, and Singapore that were paying upwards of like 200 to $280 a barrel for gas, for oil right now. Korea, Japan, Nepal, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Pakistan don't have these reserves. Yeah, I assume Southeast Asia is pretty much the same. Also, like around where you're from, is the US considered the bad guys? Recently, petroleum minister revealed that Pakistan has no petrol left and has crude oil reserves for only 5 to 7 days. We have no oil reserves. We run on commercial reserves. We're not like India that can release 60 to 70 days of oil reserves with one signature. Absolutely not. What's wild is that like Iran is connected to Pakistan. Like they don't have a rail between there to transport oil. Not US, but Trump. Any Western country or Westerner feels absolutely welcomed here. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think Trump probably has pretty low ratings wherever. I was initially when he was getting voted in, I thought he might have been the better candidate. Um, but I was also of the opinion that you needed someone a little bit radical in a sense to kind of shift things. Um, from a US perspective. But there was a lot of chaos that came with that. And a lot of his original promises, like no war, and burning things down, he didn't, I think, he tried to burn things down, and we tanked, like all of like April, or not all of April. It was March of April of last year. And then we just suddenly recovered as soon as everyone that he knew internally got into positions to go long. Then I realized, like, I was like, oh man, their insider trading is, they're not even trying to hide it, which kind of sucks. So you say any Western country or Westerner feels absolutely welcomed here. How about China? What's the general consensus there? Right, Iran is fighting with Saudi, and Saudi, Pakistan have different paths, just like NATO Article 5. Oh, wow. Peace talks in Islamabad. It's just a mirage. I completely agree. Yeah, I do think you're spot on the peace talks. I think like both sides are trying to strategically position for the next stage. Yeah, here it goes finally. Like, we'll probably hit your TP. Did I check financial juice? Wondering if anything came out. Yeah, it looks like it's headed right to 7150, as you said. We're just spooling down now. Let me check what Alma is saying. All right, the centroid's way down there. This is the weekly centroid. Yeah, we're just touching the weekly centroid here at 71.19. All right, the centroid at 70.76 is a daily centroid. Locally, this is very sticky level, leading to a pin to 70.90. Line to escape its gravity is at 7100 above and downside pivot below. The upside pivot 71.31. Volatility should catch up, otherwise momentum will be broken and will be pinned. So it looks like momentum is catching up at the upside pivot, which is why we started spooling down. But she said, watch 7150, 7130 ES for sentiment drift, and 7120 for confirmation. Yeah, ESTP hit. Nice. Trying to see if I could have re-entered, but I don't think I could have. Like, unless I truly believed in the downside. But I don't have anything that says, hey, go in again after taking profit at 71.63 or 64. I mean, to some degree, I like the 1 hour close being a ES Doji candle. Yeah, but we pulled back a good amount. Yeah, I don't think I would have entered. I don't have an entry model off that for a secondary play. It looks like the weekly centroid's holding here. It's very thin positioning in general, though. Gamma's pretty light. Charm is very light. Not as light as yesterday, but we're looking at about 11, 10 charm. Yeah, that's a good point. I probably would have been at break even too. I'm gonna take a quick look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Let's see where NVIDIA ends up by the end of the week. But we had swept the highs, and now we're back under the highs. Let me take a look at SMH. Semiconductor ETF. Oof. A little bit of pullback in semiconductors. I'm not seeing any crazy headlines right now. In 50 minutes. Yeah, that was a good reversal. What did you have at 71.50? Was that like a value area low from Friday's high to low or low to high? That's a high of low Friday, right? Eight 43. Oh, 8:43. Nine 43. 9:43. Oh, I see. You're I see what you're referencing. So that kind of reminds me of what I used to do with the VIX. Um, and it's just basically prorating the VIX based on, this was a while back. I still think it's useful to some degree, but for instance, if VIX is if the rule is VIX is 16, it implies a 1% movement in SPX. If VIX is 32, it implies a 2% move in SPX. And that would be high to low. High to low for the day. And that's how I used to measure the rough range before. That's prior to using the straddle. But I just found that the straddle was a lot more useful. So this is where I thought we would bounce. It's the low volume node if you account for all the price action between Friday, April 17th through to today or yesterday. This is a low volume node. Just swept the pre-AM low. Yeah, for sure. This thing looks like it still wants to continue. Like NQ. Looks like it still wants to go. NQ just swept. Oh no. That wasn't like a major sweep of any sort. Let's take a look here. We had some sort of SMT, I would consider it, but a lower time frame SMT. But I'm not loving it. Hey, there's an indicator that you might find useful. Oh wow. And it's on TradingView, but give me one sec here. I'm gonna see if I can find a link. Check this out. Oh, nice. Is it any good? I have one guy that's using it and he's like, man, he seems to swear by it. It was a locked indicator, so I couldn't really use it until someone had sent me a link. So I'm just starting to check it out now. But yeah, he seemed to swear by seeing this is a platform called Deep Charts. It's relatively new, right? Deep Charts. I'm wondering if it's those guys that I used to follow. That is really cool. Yeah. How much, like, I remember looking into the pricing and I was like, hey, this is pretty pricey when they first opened up. And you have to pay for the yearly, if I remember correctly. But I wanted to use it because it was the guy. Yeah, Fabio. and Andrea. Yeah, the two Italian guys. And I think Fabio used it, or it's basically based off of Fabio's um, order flow reads and what he wants to see when he used to trade on the Robbins Cup, right? I think he ended up like top 3 or something, or maybe even 1. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty pricey platform. I'm thinking about it. I was thinking about it at first. And with deep charts, it's like real order flows too, right? And how they display the information is even more critical. Oh man, I think we did see an SMT, didn't we? 1275, 1250. By 1 tick, NQ went lower. Oh my goodness. That would have been a long play. Have you tried this yourself, the deep charts? Yeah, that's fair. That was a small price to play. A small price to pay to figure that out. Damn, that long would have been nice. It is sweet lows. Resets of aggressive sellers immediately stomped by aggressive buyers. Go back right near the trap sellers and off the went up. We got a fair value gap touch on NQ. $27,072. Yeah, the sweet's probably that's probably a decent long play. I don't think I'm gonna copy this one. Just because oh, you're taking it on NQ. I see. I think the risk is just a little too wide for me. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I guess I don't love the trade enough. Like I really like the ES and QSMT off of a low volume node. Like, yeah, I just sent you something on Discord. Just an image of that low volume node there off the sweep. And it was such a good bounce. The bounce was just like it was going to be hard for me to enter. I mean, you still got the value area low here. Hopefully you see some support off the value area low on ES. I can see it potentially moving up, but I'm just not sure. I don't have a good read on this. And from a positioning perspective, I'm just going to zoom in here. $71.10. Potential low at $71.10. Yeah, I really like that bounce off the SMT. It was a slight SMT, but yeah, sometimes NQ likes to pull back a little bit further. So NQ, just looking at the chart here on the 1 hour, last Thursday, we got a bounce or an open that was like a gap open higher. I have to think that we're going to come back down eventually to come retest this. I don't know if that's going to be now. But I have to think that that is the drawn liquidity. Eventually. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Sorry, I'm getting a little too excited for you. This is looking pretty good, Kaushik. Not seeing much here from a dealer's hedging perspective. Really just messing around here. Good. It looks like you trailed out a little. Gotcha. Yeah, just in case, right? I find that I have the worst luck when I average. And oftentimes when I don't average, it would move in my direction. And then when I do average, it's like a quick blow up of an account for me. I do think the drawn liquidity on NQ is a little bit lower, between that 26,944 and 26,991. Basically the gap up on Globix Open on Thursday, April 23rd. But I don't know if that's going to happen now or if that's going to happen like towards the end of the day. Also been looking at that indicator, the one that you said that you already have on TradingView. And I'm looking at that entry that we had in the morning. Yeah, just looking at the 5-minute top wick at the 940 and what leaded up to that candle close. So looking at the 941 1-minute candle, 942, and then 943, it showed aggressive buyers, which I guess you also saw from the bull bear volume. And then so you have the aggressive buyers for 3 consecutive 1-minute candles. And then it's met by aggressive sellers that printed beneath those aggressive buyers. So technically speaking, that is a change in order flow, which you spotted just looking at the bare bull volume. I had to look at the 5-minute top wick that was high volume in order to see that. By looking at that indicator, you get the 3 nice bullish candles. Let me take a screenshot here. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna have to pick up a Lucid account. Yeah, that's the big trade order flow circles on TradingView. And there was like that trade that you took, it was right after the bullish order flow, and I guess you had that top wick that it was shortly after that 1-minute top wick that you entered, I believe, right? From an order flow perspective, you basically have massive buyers just jump in aggressive buyers, and then met with like aggressive sellers almost immediately. Trying to spot this from a 1 minute perspective, but you did a good job of just being able to pick that up on based on the bull bear volume. Bookmap has massive resting orders at 71.45. 71.45 ES. Yeah, that's a very disciplined approach. Very disciplined approach. I like it very much, and I commend that. I tend to risk more with prop firms, and I think everyone gets stuck in the cycle of risking more with prop firms. NQ has massive orders at 27,000, which is basically that liquidity pocket from the gap, from the Thursday gap. I want to see how it reacts off that 71.45 level where there's like tons of orders, massive orders there on Bookmap. And then 27K. 27K is a real target on NQ if shorting. But it's just grinding its way down. $71.10 really doesn't want to get through anywhere here. It's just sitting at 71.20 SPX. VIX is trickling up ever so slightly. Discord. Yeah, no problem. I'll be on tomorrow. I think the next time I'm gonna probably take a day off. It's like the 14th or something. Thursday will be post FOMC and also all the earnings. So I would imagine like Thursday might be a digestion day. Trying to figure, like the market trying to figure out which way you want to go. Yeah, no worries. I'll still be streaming. Thanks for the heads up though. Some SMT here. It's like it's waiting for something right now. Definitely not seeing anything from a positioning perspective. $26,975 NQ, 71.37 ES are good areas to bounce. Yeah, I like the 37 area on NQ. $26,975. 975. 975. Yes, partway into the gap. I can see that 975 level. It's a 4-hour naked point of control that I have from that Thursday. Except on the 1 hour, it shows 925. Sounds good. You're calling it? Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you Friday. Or if you happen to drop in any other days, I'll be on. So take care. I'm gonna see if this can run in towards a negative gamma. This might be. I like the drawn liquidity being a little bit lower. That gap from Thursday, Globex open. The Thursday Globex open would be a nice drawn liquidity. Whether or not it plays out now, who knows? But can also see us running up